going on, He-Man fans? This is Jesse from the Imperial Academy. If this is your first time watching, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe now and like. Alright, so here we have Roboto. This is my second Roboto, and I'm going to bust them open right now. So let's get started. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is I actually found Roboto again. I do have another one, but I always wanted a second one to open him up and to display him in my room with He-Man and Skeletor and whatever ones I have in my room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice from here to the side because I do want to keep the card, the plastic, and the comic book inside with the weapon. So if I ever want to put him back in the card, I can do so without everything being flopped open. As you can tell, the card is pretty messed up. That's fine because I am going to open him up compared to my other Roboto, which is, I'm not going to say it's near mint condition, but it's better than what you see here where it's all bent in the middle, kind of torn on the bottom. I did actually get him from Amazon, but instead of spending 27 bucks on him, I actually got him for free because I had a gift card through work. I used that and I didn't have to waste any money. I have Prime. I got it within a couple of days, but that's as most I think I ever spent for a He-Man figure, which was like around $27, but then it was free. Now, if this was me paying with my hard-earned money, I wouldn't do it. I would just wait to find it in the store. So I'll go into a little bit more detail with that and with Roboto. Let me go ahead and slice them open so you guys can see this figure up close, okay? Alright guys, so I took out Roboto from his packaging. He comes with a basic normal dimensional Doom comic book. Here we go. Nothing, there's Roboto right there. Here is the instruction manual. Get this open. There's Roboto. I don't know why. Removable parts. Okay, so these are removable. Alright, well, that's cool. You know that the legs are removable. Here are his weapons. He comes with an arm, a blaster, and here is his axe. Now, before I go ahead and open up the his weapons, just comparing this to the vintage one that I did my research on, obviously this is different compared to the vintage, the chest piece, and also the little cogs inside, the little mechanism wheels right here. You see that? So the vintage ones have a little bigger ones and I think a few more. Now, within his chest, it's kind of hidden for the vintage figure. It is a heart because Man of Arms gave him a heart so he can feel human emotions and he can learn and all that stuff. So for here, there's not a lot of sprockets or cogs, whatever you want to call them. There's two small ones, one a little, you know, I would say medium-sized one. Turn it over. Comparing to the vintage one, there was some in the back, and obviously you can't, there's no heart here, so what you see is when you turn it, that's all you get. The vintage, obviously, like all vintage, comparing to the new ones now, are slightly different colors, and I mean, you know, from his boxers or whatever, are slightly different colors. The vintage, the legs are a bit muscular and thicker. I just noticed his legs kind of loose. I mean, it's not loose, but it's really movable compared to the other He-Mans where they're kind of stiff still. So I'm just barely holding it like that, and it's already kind of, you know, it's all right there. But see how I just held it? To me, that is a problem. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just going to display them and use them for pictures. That's about it. But that's one thing I don't like. Once again, I said this is my second figure. The other one I kept closed because I don't want to open them up. Roboto, 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 Roboto. His arms. Decent figure. I know it's not the vintage. It's never going to be the vintage. Nothing can compare to the vintage, but you know, Mattel is really knocking these out of the park. These are really, really cool. I really love these figures. But there's always going to be a slight difference in them, so I can't really complain about it. I'm getting to relive my childhood again. So, once again, not bad of a figure. It's decent. But obviously, what would you prefer, vintage or the origins? For me, obviously, number one, vintage. But since I can't really afford those, I mean, I can if I put my money into it. But at the same time, it's like, you got to do the research, make sure it's not a fake and all that junk. So, yeah, so I'll stick to the origins. Let me go ahead and take the weapons out of the pack, and we'll go ahead and try on the other weapons and the arm. Alright guys, so Roboto's origin story in the Filmation He-Man cartoon is quite different. Roboto crash landed on Eternia. As revealed in the episode Happy Birthday Roboto, originally he had come from the planet Robotica, which was filled with the mechanical beings like himself. As with the mini-comic characterization, Roboto was immensely powerful in the Filmation cartoon. Sorry, got tongue twisted. So, he came out in one episode, and his little arm and his blaster, obviously, once again, very different and detailed. Not detailed, the detail on it is different from the vintage, obviously. Now, I don't know why Mattel didn't go into the more detail for the figure or the weapons itself. I'm guessing maybe production-wise, money, who knows, maybe it was cheaper that way, and sometimes that is the case, to make things a little bit easier on them and cheaper to get them out onto the floor. But you know, I keep on going to Target and I cannot find anything still. They do have Skeletor and He-Man. I mean, those are like peg warmers, you know. If you guys want to see the full review of Roboto, I will post my link down below. But that's the one that I kept sealed. But I go into more detail about him. So here is, once again, arm, blaster. Let's go ahead and take off his arm. Now, if you have both, and I read that the vintage accessories do not fit in the Origins Masters of the Universe. So if I had a vintage hand, it wouldn't work for this, and vice versa. So that is the hand. Let's switch to the blaster. Now, once again, I'm not, you know, saying anything bad about these figures. I really like them. I'm actually a Star Wars guy, so back in the 80s, I loved He-Man because there was a Return of the Jedi, but I wasn't buying Star Wars then. I was more into the Centurions, Silverhawks, He-Man, G.I. Joe. There were some other things out there that Voltron 2, Robotech, and I forgot what else. I know I'm missing a few, but anyways, guys. So, okay, the arms do kind of remind me of the vintage. They do have a similarity. The legs, trying to get this in focus. Well, anyways, the legs are different compared to the vintage. Vintage are, like I said earlier, muscular, a little bit thicker. These legs, not so much. They look like a normal He-Man or Man-at-Arms legs. Let me see, what? Okay, this doesn't come off. This twists. But, yeah, now that I twisted it, this leg's really kind of getting loose. Well, I guess I have to put it in hot water, so that's what I've heard people do. And then the other day, I took out my He-Man figure, the arms, so I might switch them. Let me see if I can. I don't want to bust them. I don't want to break them, but there we go. So if I can put these onto He-Man, oh, that'll look so awesome. pop it back in. Same thing with this side. And once again, here's his mouth. Roboto, 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 give me a sandwich. Give me a sandwich. I don't know. You know, if I was really grading these figures, like I said, they're really busting them out and people are really going crazy for them. And for $15, you can't really beat it. I mean, that is really damn good for a toy nowadays, because if you're into wrestling, those are like $20 a pop. The DC Multiverse Todd McFarlane figures, they're another 20 bucks. The Star Wars, 20 to 25 bucks. And the regular, the vintage collection are, I'm gonna say $12, I think. I could be upping it up, but you have NECA figures that are, you know, obviously $30 and up, but those are really detailed and really great. I do have a few of those, and those are awesome. So I don't mind spending $15 on a figure for He-Man, because it brings me back to my childhood. And you know, they're fun to find and fun to collect, because like I said moments ago, it's about my childhood, and I had tons of He-Mans when I was small. Now, another thing about Roboto, he was actually in, I think, in a J.C. Penney's, what is it, like a bundle package. I figured out it was Hordak, Roboto, and Skyclone. That was a 3-pack, and then J.C. Penney had a 2-pack mail order, and that one obviously had Roboto, and that one had, that was like, gosh, I seen it for maybe, well, back in, it was like $3 to $6 for a mail away. I gotta go back and look at it. So the second figure was Mechanic. And Mechanic was the one with the long ass neck, and then, you know, he had, I think he had like shades or something, but no, I don't think he had shades. Yeah, I think he did look like he had shades, but I guess it was like a visor or helmet or something, and he had like a big ass bat. So that was J.C. Penney's mail away, and okay, no, the price was $11, and then I think, from my information, from what I read, it was on sale for $2.99. So I think they had like an overstock of them, and then went on sale maybe in the J.C. Penney store, and it was $2.99. So whoever picked them up, man, that is, I hope you still have them in the box, because those are rare. So that was a mail away for Roboto, but not bad. You know, you get your little instructions, your little mini comic, and that was one of the greatest things as a kid. You got a comic book, and I would read it back and forth, no matter how many times I read it. You have your weapons, and you have your action figure. And I never took my toys to school because I was always afraid someone would take them, and so I just kept them in. But one thing, when I was a kid, I would always keep the plastic and put them back in the way they were, plastic with the toys, and put them back in the card. Now, the vintage card was similar to this, except for the whole mumble jumble, the writing and all that. But you're pretty much looking at what it was back in the day, back in the 80s. So, like I said, $15. Not bad. If you can find them, pick them up, but don't overpay for your toys for this one especially. This still bothers me. It's not exactly, I wish they went to the exactly, but money wise and all that, and I understand. Maybe I can put a little sticker of a heart here. If I can find one, I'll put it on. But so far, right now, he's just gonna be used for pictures and things like that. Maybe he can be friends with Michael Myers. We'll see. But guys, thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. Comment down below what figures you have. Do you have Roboto? Let me know what are your pros and cons about this figure. Alright guys, may the force be with you all. Have a good one. Roboto.